All right, everyone. It is a little lunchtime sync. We got football in 3 days, believe it or not. But in honor of this lunchtime sync, we have a special panel here from Lunch Pail Ventures joining the Sons of Saturday today. If you're listening on audio, this is Pat Finn. I am perched up in Basking Ridge here, New Jersey, going to the Springsteen show tonight. And joining me are two members of the leadership team over at Lunch Pail Ventures. We have Christina Daves and we have former Hokie stud wide receiver Nick Cullen joining us today. So I know we got a lot going on. You know, Christina's getting furniture delivered, and Nick and I, we got meetings to attend to. So we'll make it brief here, but welcome, guys. Thanks for joining. We'll do quick introductions first and foremost. So Christina Daves, if you just want to do a quick introduction and what brought you to Lunch Pail Ventures.
Yeah. So I'm Christina Daves. I'm kind of the marketing arm of Lunch Pail Ventures. I was really excited. Nick and I have been friends for several years. And basically, it was a phone call that said, hey, you want to join us? But it's such a great concept of Hokies helping Hokies, gathering lots of Hokies together who can pool investments and invest in Hokie-led companies. And it just really fired me up and really got me excited. So I'm really glad to be a part of it.
The marketing expertise. If you don't know Christina, she does a lot of cool stuff, whether it's on social, whether it's on TV up in the DC area. So check out Christina and her work. And then Nick Cullen, as I mentioned, former Hokie wide receiver, and spent a lot of time up on Wall Street and up in the New York City area. But Nick, just a quick intro and what brought you to Lunch Pail Ventures, and then we can get into it.
Absolutely, Pat. And I have to say, it's a great honor to be here today. I love listening to Sons of Saturday. You guys are building an awesome experience. And so it's really cool to be on. But my name's Nick Cullen. I'm a 1991 finance graduate from Virginia Tech. I also got an MBA from Northwestern. Spent most of my career at Goldman. And, it was an interesting, exciting career up there in New York. Gave me an opportunity to work with some great U.S. companies and entrepreneurs, but it's life after Goldman that's given me the opportunity to spend more time with Virginia Tech entrepreneurs, and that's really what I like doing, and gives us an opportunity, all of us, to give back to an organization that gave us so much. So I'm hoping it's the same reason that many people may be interested in Lunch Pail Ventures. It's to help Hokies reach their full potential. We know you Hokies are out there willing to get involved, so we're super excited to get this thing kicked off this past year.
Nick, I know we had a conversation earlier in the spring and kind of hearing about some of the, the foundational imprints of Lunch Pail Ventures and what was going into it. You go on the website, connecting tech founders, innovators, and professionals, mainly from Virginia Tech. I know you guys do a lot of events. I know that there's the Lunch Pail 100, but really just a high level. What is the mission of Lunch Pail Ventures? When did it get started? What are some of the goals? Nick, if you want to take that one.
Yeah, sure. And look, the Entrepreneur Center at Tech is ranked one of the top entrepreneur centers in the country. And as a result, it gets a lot of inquiry from Virginia Tech alumni who are starting their own companies. And the Entrepreneur Center's mandate is to take care of the students. And quite frankly, I don't know if they have the resources to take care of all the alumni, and they didn't. So Derek McGard and Sean Collins, and they're the two that run the center. And without them, none of this is possible because they brought that center to such a great level. But they asked some of the board members to take on that task. And, that's how Lunch Pail was formed. We got together after they came to us and said, hey, can we build out a program for alumni specifically? So we started last year with the concept to create a community of Hokies that support the Hokie Entrepreneurial Network. Hokies have had really great success in the past few years on the entrepreneurial front. And our goal is to really just broaden those achievements even more by providing services, sometimes financing to these companies. And, there's a number of things that we do to support that, if you want to get into that, we can. But I think that's a good overview for now.
Nick, Christina, when I was at Tech, I was there from 2013 to 2017. And I know that entrepreneurship has definitely been involved within Pamplin over the past few years, and had some friends who may have done a minor in entrepreneurship or some other types of areas to earn credit there. And there was also the Innovate House when I was there as well. And now, if you haven't seen it, if you are a Virginia Tech student, if you're a Virginia Tech alum, the Apex Center, it's right above PK's. I've spent some time there this year. It is absolutely incredible. The resources there, as you mentioned, Nick, Derek, and Sean, it's student focused and really cool. So, and I don't know how many folks even know about it, and that's why we're here, right? To broadcast that. But Christina, talk to us about the Lunch Pail 100, because I know that's kind of a cool thing to go on the website and see. Look at this massive directory of successful businesses going on.
Yeah, it really is. And as I got involved with it, to see how many incredible, successful Virginia Tech led companies there are. So every year we honor them with the Lunch Pail 100. So there's an application process, and they come in, and these are the fastest growing Virginia Tech led companies that we honor every year. And we'll be doing that next Friday, September 8th at the University Club.
Love that. Nice little University Club plug as well. Shout out to those guys. Then as far as like, if I'm starting a business tomorrow, I don't know what the heck I want to do. I don't know, or I might have an idea, but I need capital. I need to figure out how to start this business. I might want to connect with some folks within the Virginia Tech community. How would I try to get involved with Lunch Pail Ventures? What would kind of that step process look like, Nick?
Yeah, no, well, first off, anybody that wants to get involved with Lunch Pail, I mean, the best way to do that is to subscribe on the website, lunchpailventures.com. And we have a very active list. We probably have over 1,000 subscribers right now. We have close to 100 paying members of Lunch Pail Ventures. But if you're a founder, I still think that reaching out to the Apex Center is one great way to do it, because Derek and Sean can then put you in touch with us. But on the website, there is a specific section for founders, and that comes directly to the leadership team. Of course, the leadership team is myself and Christina, and we also have Todd Headley, John Malone, Kim Shanahan, and Brian Carlish. And we start working, when we get inquiry, we start working with those names immediately. And again, one of our goals is to mentor, advise, guide those young Hokie companies. And look, we can't go out and finance Hokie startups, but our goal is to work with those companies at their early stages to get them to that point in growth and revenue where there could be some opportunities to get us involved in some other ways.
And, I was on that list last night, checking out the Lunch Pail 100 and, kind of seeing, all right, is there anyone on here who I graduated with? Did I have any overlap, just to kind of see? And it was cool to be able to, see who the main founders were on each company. But yeah, as far as other ways to get involved, other ways to kind of understand the footprint that Lunch Pail Ventures has on the Virginia Tech community, and then, from a regional or national level. Christina, are there, what events have gone on in the past? I know you just mentioned next week at the University Club, but, if you could inform the listeners on, any events that are upcoming, what can a subscriber expect to see come across their email inbox for any upcoming events or other ways to get involved?
So one of the things that's really cool that we do is we're able to provide opportunities to people that might not be able to invest at that level. Where if you go to a hedge fund, you'd have to have $500,000 or $1 million. But by being able to pool, what we're doing is we come in as a group as Lunch Pail, which is really, really exciting, because you can invest as little as $5,000. So some of the past events and upcoming events is we bring these really dynamic Virginia Tech companies to our community that you can either come on a Zoom call or in person. We've done a couple in person. Nick, September 14th in Tyson's Corner is the next one, which is Venus Aerospace. And it's really cool. I mean, it's going to blow your mind with like drone technology and how we're going to be able to get on a plane and be somewhere in seconds. But they're on the cutting edge of all of this. So there's an amazing opportunity there. And again, if you go just to the Lunch Pail Ventures website and sign up, you'll be notified and you can register and there's no cost to attend. But we're trying to bring these opportunities and these companies to the Virginia Tech community so they can see what's possible.
And when we started the events, of course, the natural spot to start a Virginia Tech event is in Northern Virginia. So we've done a couple happy hours in Northern Virginia. I say happy hours. I mean, we do have speakers, and we're bringing some value there. And, we had a great panel board up in McLean earlier this year. But our goal is to start chapters in different locations around the country where there's a lot of Hokies. And there's a lot of interest in that. We've had a lot of people reaching out to us. And so we'll do a little bit of a roadshow and get Lunch Pail out there a bit more. But as Christina mentioned, look, we've raised money for 2 companies thus far, and we're presenting a 3rd company to the community come September. So when I look at the different events, yes, we have good fun happy hours, but we're also going to be presenting opportunities, and hopefully they're unique, exclusive investments that people typically don't have access to. That's really our goal. But everything, whenever we present a company, it's always via Zoom also. So yes, it's going to be in Northern Virginia, but also available on Zoom.
We'll make sure that in the article that accompanies this episode and in the YouTube link, we'll put out a link to Lunch Pail Ventures. Make sure we can get folks subscribed that want to be involved and want to learn about those next steps of getting involved. And then Nick, before we kind of pass the baton and talk football a little bit, Christina, I do want to give you the opportunity to talk about Lunch Pail behind Lunch Pail Ventures and how that all got sorted in here.
Right. So we're so excited that we've got Bud Foster involved. He is really passionate about what we're doing. And when I talk to him, he'll be like, oh, I told this NFL player and this NFL player. Like, he's really excited. He gets what we're doing. And the thing we love so much, and that I think Brent Pry is really bringing back, is that family community, and that's what Hokies are. And people listening know this, if you're a Hokie, you're a Hokie. So we're really excited that Bud is on board. He's becoming part of our leadership group. And then we'll also have a give back every year. Bud has a foundation in the New River Valley where he supports kids who want to go to college and can't afford to go to college. He's done things where somebody needed a surgery and couldn't afford it. So he has the Lunch Pail Defense Fund, and Lunch Pail Ventures will be making annual contributions to his defense fund, which supports the New River Valley, which is, home to all of us, anyone who went to Virginia Tech.
Oud prosum indeed. Shout out to Coach Foster. Looking forward to seeing him over the course of the fall in Blacksburg. So thank you guys for sharing and shedding some light on Lunch Pail Ventures. I'm excited to keep this dialogue going as well. Would love to have you on throughout the season, or whenever you guys have big events coming up across the course of the year. So we're gonna end it up with a little bit of Hokie trivia. I know we've been spraying some hot takes out there over the past few weeks in the podcast, but people need to know this about Nick Cullen, okay? Because he was a stud wide receiver back in the day. Now these were like the early Coach Beamer years. So we're talking, I have the college football reference stats up. So, it's legit. 87, 88, 89, and 1990. So Nick was a wide receiver out of Pittsburgh. What you need to know about Nick Cullen, first of all, he was in Frank Beamer's first recruiting class. And this was a class that was, limited in the amount of scholarships because the football program had been on probation prior to Coach Beamer getting here. But the statistic, the most fun fact that's in the record books today, it's a beautiful day. I'm just making that up, Nick. I don't know if it was a beautiful day. I wasn't alive yet. But against Southern Miss in 1990, Nick recorded 13 catches for 170 yards against Brett Favre's football team. And they defeated the Golden Flashes 16-10. Will Fuhrer was the quarterback back then. So pretty electric. We love digging into the record books here, Nick. Cam Phillips did break that record at ECU in 2017 with 14 catches, but Nick still holds the record for the most catches in a game in Lane Stadium history. So with that, I know I got to hop here, guys, in 2 minutes, but Nick, give us just a parting word of wisdom from how Coach Beamer had influenced your career and how he may be influencing you and the folks at Lunch Pail Ventures here.
Wow. Tough to fit that into such a quick statement, but I appreciate that. Thank you for the comments. It was a special day against Southern Miss that year, but that team was special. We had a couple winning seasons in a row there for Coach Beamer, his first couple seasons, our first couple winning seasons. But Coach Beamer had an amazing impact on my life. That whole staff did. And if you ask me to sum it up, like a few things that I learned from Beamer that I learned some football, but the real important stuff is what you kept through the rest of your life, my personal life, my business life. But this was a guy that taught us to always remain even keel. He had this great phrase. He says, things aren't ever as good as they seem, and things surely aren't ever as bad as they seem. And reality is somewhere in the middle. And that's where I want you to live, because that's where you make the right decisions. So don't get too high on a win. Don't get too low on a loss. Live in the middle. And that's really helped me in business and personal life. But also, this guy had an amazing belief. I mean, after our first 2 years, we were 2-9 and 3-8. And he stood up in front of our team at the end of that season. He said, we will be a perennial top 20 team. And, I was a dopey 19-year-old. I remember sitting back, and I'm embarrassed to say this now, but, you chuckled a little bit. But boy, think about the greatness of his comments, right? We will be a perennial top 10. He believed at the lowest point of his Virginia Tech career, he still believed that we were going to reach these heights. And it's a great message for all entrepreneurs out there, but also a great lesson from Coach. And just the last thing real quick is, you grow up sometimes, you hear different phrases. And one you sometimes heard was nice guys finish last. And I never believed that, but at the same time, Coach Beamer proved that completely wrong, because this is a man that had respect for everyone. And yeah, he got tough at times, but he was a nice guy that finished first. And, I love what we're seeing at Tech right now with Coach Pry. I had some opportunity to spend some time with him this summer, and I am super excited about the direction that he's heading. I think the guy's clutch. I think he's a great motivator. And I do believe that he has family first. And that's what I think you need to really build a long-term championship team. So super excited about everything going on at Virginia Tech football now, and obviously have great memories from the past.
True anecdotes there, Nick. I know we were chatting on the phone yesterday, and the conversation, it was just so much. I just remember reading Coach Beamer's book, and I haven't read it in about 10 or so years. I'm like, I need to get back into that, because the amount of lessons and the fun stories, and it's just so Virginia Tech. So I appreciate that. I appreciate you, Christina. I appreciate you. Thank you, guys. We're looking forward to
Great to see
hanging
you
out in Blacksburg this fall. Everybody go check out Lunch Pail Ventures, especially those with that entrepreneurial spirit and mindset. And yeah, that's a podcast, guys. Appreciate you coming on.
Pat, thanks a ton.
Thanks. Yeah. Great to see you.
Go Hokies.
Thanks, guys.